Good morning, party people. Good morning. It is Randee for Thunder Horse Senate. I'm here today on Thursday because it's Thursday, and on Thursday we do live stuff. It's Thursday, right? Yeah. Oh. Oh, good morning. Hello, everybody. Okay, so today, today I'm going to North Dakota. I feel like by the time I get going for all this stuff, I'm going to be like too tired to do anything. I stayed up super late last night. Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Linda. Hi, Rosanna. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Ginny. Hi, Donna. Good morning, Rita. Rosina. Lori. Good morning, everybody. So I am packed. I got gas. I got money for the cash box. I got the cats ready. I got the dog bag. I got all the dog food. I got the litter box. I got the show inventory, except for one earring rack, which Shannon is wrapping up right now because we had to have Brandon come over and do an emergency board cutting situation. Then I painted that yesterday. It matches my earring boards though, or my jewelry boards. So super excited. Hi, Hillary. Have a good trip. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm leaving today. I did all the things except for I got 2 videos to edit and schedule into YouTube. So I'm going to do that after we get off the morning coffee. But yeah, other than that, I'm ready to rock. I got to do some stuff with Shannon. Shannon's going to water my garden while I'm gone. And then I think we're ready. I packed my laptop. I just packed my laptop because my grandma sometimes likes to watch the movies that, like, she'll read books, and sometimes, you know, they have movies. Like, last time I was home, she wanted to watch Where the Crawdads Sing, but she just has, like, I don't know, some kind of weird TV. And I was like, we'll just order it on Amazon. Linda says, do you have the tables? No tables for this show. This show is in Jeff's hometown. So they provide me with tables so I don't have to pack them. So I get 2 8-foot tables basically from the church. In the past, we used to go in the little car, and we didn't have no room for tables. So I talked to Silky. She's the lady who runs the show. And I was just like, hey man, can you like provide me some tables? And she was like, sure. So they do that. Good morning. I bet your mind is racing. I packed everything I need. You aren't going to a foreign land, so you're good. Yeah. I try to be more prepared than I am, but I did pretty good. Me and Shannon was packing up the show inventory while we were like into the van. So we wrap everything. I don't know. So FYI, if you guys do shows, what I have found for me that works for me is that if I get everything ready and then I saran wrap it, so like I put my earrings and I price them and I put them on the earring rack and I saran wrap it. I put all my rocks in the bowls that they're going to be in and I saran wrap it. And I put all the things, necklace board, saran wrap it. So then when I get to the show, there's no setup time. All you got to do is cut the saran wrap off and you're done. So that's good. So I discovered that from my friend Diane Ritter. She's the one who told me to do that. So yeah, so those are all ready to go. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. But first we have to stop at Grandpa's house. Jake's grandpa, Jeff's dad. Yeah. So we always spend Father's Day with him at this show. So we always go to so they have what they call, if you guys are not aware, it's called turkey barbecue. And so it's the biggest outdoor turkey barbecue in the United States. And they do like a whole mile of like cinder blocks, cinder blocks with holes. And they run bars through them, and they put 2 turkeys per set of cinder blocks, and they run it through the whole park. It's like a mile long. And they put coals, and they cook them outside. They basically like rotisserie them outside. So the fire department does that. And so they cook them all day. And then, I think they start serving food at like 4 or 5 o'clock. Jeff's dad is always in charge of making the pig. So he usually on Father's Day is like always doing this. So we've always just went out there for the last, I don't know, 15 years. I don't know. So I started doing the show because they have a craft show. So obviously when I got into all this, I was like, oh, I'll just do the show. And it just keeps getting more every year, I think. But it's pretty fun. I've been doing that show for a long time. And I have some like show friends there that I see that also always usually come. And so it's kind of fun. I don't ever get to leave the building. So, And this year, Mama Thunderhorse is driving up from Arizona, which reminds me I should call her. But it's like a whole days thing. If you're not from the Midwest or a small town, I don't know if you guys know about days. Every town has days of some kind. And then they have like a street dance, they have a live band, they have karaoke, they have, everybody, it's like big block party kind of thing. They have craft show, tractor pull, parade, things for the kids, that kind of stuff. So that's what they're doing. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to ask Jeff's dad to watch the dogs because Jake is, he's okay. He's just, I've been doctoring his butt, and it's fine. We put the up bed, the up bed in the van. So I thought he was gonna lay on this bench seat, but it's too like steep and he won't get up there. So we laid everything flat in the van, and then we just put his up bed in there so he can lay on that when he's in the van. We will see how that goes. So that, and then Lily, and then the cats will be in the front. So yeah. Bunsen is very upset. He was like, I'm sorry, lady, I think you're confused because you gave me dry food today. I was like, yeah, there's a plan. Don't worry, Bunsen, there's a plan for that. You just have your dry food and be happy about it. How about that? I posted this little video this morning, and Lily, she was in the yard, and I was like, Lily, bunnies are friends, not food. And she was like, just looking at me, this little bunny. We have these bunnies who live under our shed, and she chases them. And then the little bunny went into my garden, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? So I was like, So anyways, I'm just chit-chatting this morning, I think. I was gonna make this little sun pendant, but I'm just like, I don't know if I am. So yeah, that's what I got going on today. I'm all ready to go. I talked to Jeff this morning. So he's been traveling around all of North Dakota for the new job, and he has been going and shadowing these places. Oh, PK is wearing the sun pendant. Good job, PK. Good morning from Mom's house. Hi, Mom. Hi, Christine's mom. Yeah, and then he's been shadowing these other shops, I guess. So it's a thing. It's a thing. So he's been doing that. He finally got back to Grand Forks last night. He called pretty late, and he was like, yeah, I just got back here. And I was like, okay. And then today I think he's got to go to Fargo. I think that's what he said. He had to be at the Fargo shop pretty early. So he's still shadowing for his first week, which is good. Will Jefferson have to travel for his job every week, or is this just a get to know you tour? Yeah, I think it's just a get to know you tour. So it sounds like the company that he is now going to work for is they have basically like a shop in the bigger towns in North Dakota. So like Bismarck, Minot, I don't know if they have one in Williston. Grand Forks, Fargo, like all the bigger towns. And so it sounds like he just has to go there. They wanted him to go there and to shadow the guys in his position, like for, that are in his position. So I don't know. He said it was going good. He said he was learning a lot. So that's good. Yeah. So I think it's just a get to know you kind of thing. I don't know. But he said it was good. I'm going to swing in and talk to the kid today. I don't know if she can't go, I guess. I don't think. But I'm going to text her anyway and see if she wants to maybe have some lunch to eat or something. She's out of school. She got out of school on June 1st, so she should be available, but maybe she's got a lot of activities that she does. So she might be having like some kind of practice or something. I'll have to text her. Anywho, that's the goings on with that. And then after all that, then I will go to Grandma's house. So my grandma that I'm going to see, that's my dad's mom, right? And so they called and they have a whole laundry list of things they want me to do. So I got to go over there. We got to go to my brother's housewarming doings, I guess. I called him and I told him I was coming, and he was like, my brother's name is Wacy. I was like, hey, Wace, what's up? And he's like, nothing. And I was like, okay, well, I'm coming into town on such and such day. And I was like, I was going to swing over, see your new house. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he gets all excited. Then he's telling me all about it. And then he says, yeah, nobody's been here to see it. I was just like, oh, saddie pants. I was like, I'll bring Grandma. You're a popular girl, a social butterfly. Couldn't do it. I am antisocial. No, so we got to do that. And then my aunt called last night. She said we have to go see my great aunt Mary. And she's like, we got to go see Mary. She called and she was saying, oh, it'd be so nice if you would come and visit. It's not like she doesn't visit. Dixie goes like every other weekend or whatever, but they're haying. They started cutting hay already, so like that's... She called me at like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm in the field. I'm waiting for Corey to get this last round done so we can go to bed. I was like, okay. So, yeah, so they want to go to Mary's house, which is another reason I want to ask Jeff's dad if he'll watch the dogs, and I'll take the cats. And I told Jeff about it. At first he was like, I don't know, if Jake is having any kind of issues, I would prefer he was with you. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to go to Grandma's, and they got like, between everyone, they got like literally 18 dogs. So I'm like, I don't think that's going to be good. And then plus I'm going to have to leave him when we go do all these other things. So I was like, And he's like, yeah, whatever you think is best. So I think I'm just going to leave him with Grandpa. Less commotion, less other animals. He'll be fine. But I'm kind of hoping that my mom, since my mom's driving, well, I think she told me that she's not going to be there till Sunday. Or she's only going to be there till Sunday. But I wish that she would come with me to my grandma's house. Sometimes she comes to my grandma's and just like stays there with me, because my sister lives in Montana, and then we can just like drive over to my sister's place. I am going to North Carolina, leaving this Saturday, and we'll get to see my spouse and some of the grandkids. Ooh, exciting. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Donna. Also, it's a longer drive, because it's like, to Jeff's dad's house is 6 hours. From there is an additional, like, with stopping, probably like an additional 7 to 8 hours for me. It's really only like 6 hours, but I don't like to be in the car, so I stop a lot. It's probably like an additional 6 hours to my grandma's. That's a lot of driving for Jake. When he was younger, see, we're kind of in this thing where, I don't think that Jeff wants to admit, like, we're getting older, It's like we're in the downhill slope here. Things and stuff. Gotta adjust. Have fun on your travels. Yeah. I got some questions the other day from some people, and on YouTube. Was it YouTube? I think it was YouTube. Anyways, they asked me when was my first craft show that I ever did, and I was like, oh yeah, I will talk about that. It was 2018 maybe? Well, I did craft shows with my grandma used to do craft shows back in the day. You know, back in the day when it's like you just showed up and didn't have to pay a fee and just set up your table and had a lovely time. You remember that? Yeah, I used to do that. Randee, you need to post photos, if you please. We live vicariously through everyone's adventures. Oh, yeah, I can post the photos. Well, most of you have seen, like, all the farm stuff. Because when I went back for Grandpa's thing, when I was helping Grandpa, I did a video almost every day. Although I was just, like, doing farm chores, but that's pretty much what I do when I'm there. We'll try to take some pictures. Ooh, fun. We saw the farm in the winter time. Oh, now you want to see it in the summertime? Okay. Good morning. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, in the summer. Well, the cows are not home in the summertime. The cows go to the pasture, so there's no cows to be seen. And Dixie told me that Mr. Drosdall came out to clean the barnyard, so there's like a bunch of bulldozers out there. But yeah, maybe I can show you haying. I'm sure there will be haying. I live in Montana. I've seen cows. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. My little brother's still home. I don't think he's leaving till July. So my baby brother, Cody. So that's always an adventure. Who knows what we'll get into. But yeah, I can take some photos. I told my grandma about all my plans that I had going on, you know. I was like, oh, well, Carly called. See, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I have like a truckload of siblings. And Bunsen, do not get on the printer. Bunsen is very upset about his dry food situation. He's like, woman, you have messed up. He's just been naughty. Hey, don't do that. How about no? He's just staring at me. So anyway, my sister called Carly and she was like, hey, she's going to bring the girls out one day, I think. She usually always brings the girls to see my grandma, even though that's not her grandma, but we don't really care about that. So she's going to bring the girls, so that's always fun. And then, I'm going to take grandma into town to see my brother's house, where we're going to have lunch and karaoke, I guess. And then we're going to go to Mary's, and then we're going to go to the cafe or whatever and like have coffee and stuff. And my grandma was like, so I'm telling her all these things, and I'm like, well, this is what they've told me thus far. And she's like, sounds like we're going to be popular and busy. I'm like, yeah, I guess so. She's like, okay, that's fine. So I don't know. And then she's like, are you bringing all your animals? And I was like, I'm going to try to only bring 2 of the 4. I know something is up when I pull out the suitcase. Moods change in the girls. I get nervous. Oh yeah. The cats, I don't think they really get it yet, but Jake gets it. When Jeff left, like, you know, whatever. And Jeff leaves all the time. Like, he goes to work all the time and will be like, you know, gone for a couple days or whatever. But when he left, he knew. I don't know how he knew. But he went to the window and in the porch, and he just stared out the window all day. And I was like, Jake, he'll be back. And then he was just like, nope, I'm just going to stand here and just wait. And I was like all sad. So That was kind of sad. But it'll be good that he'll get to see him this weekend. So yeah, he gets really antsy. Him and Lily, they know when they start seeing the suitcases and I'm up all hours of the night trying to pack and whatever. I went and got gas. I got gas for the first time in the new van. I went and got antifreeze because I was like, this feels like we should probably have antifreeze because it's like, smells kind of like it might be low. So I'm going to check that today before I leave. They realize you are doing something. You had to go to the vet? Yeah. I did call the vet. I asked the vet about that stuff, about Jake, and he just said that he thinks that he'll be okay for the trip. He said, bring him by. If you feel like there's still problems, you know, when you get back, just bring him by and we'll look at him. And I said, okay. But he said too, like, it's kind of like things. It's kind of like things that are happening. I have been there several times and have found some great restaurants. Where are we at? What are we talking about? What place? Asheville. North Carolina? Is that in North Carolina? No. Oh, sorry, he has an eye infection. Thank you, Laverl. Pedal on my bicycle. Anywho, yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. I'm excited about it. I don't know when I'm going to start traveling back, but it'll probably be like, maybe I'll start coming back on Friday. That way I can come back through and stay at Jeff's dad's and see Jeff, and then drive back home and still have time to get ready for the Claim It Live bead sale on Monday, the 26th. So I'll probably do that. I don't like to drive straight through. I don't like being in the car. That's why I always go on the train. I always go on the train. I'm just like, meh. Because then I can like listen to my music and sleep. Well, actually, most of the time, the real reason I go on the train is because when I used to work as a counselor and I worked at STS, our hours, well, even before that, when I worked in a bunch of different places around in the cities. But so if I go on the train, I could still work all day. So like if I had to work Friday, I could still work all Friday because the train didn't leave until like 11 o'clock at night to go that way. So it worked out really good because then I could like work all day on Friday, still get on the train at night, travel at night when I'm actually asleep, save time, time management. Wake up in the morning on Saturday morning and my aunt would be waiting for me in Minot, and then it would just be like la-di-da, whatever. And then on the way back, the train doesn't leave Minot until like 9 o'clock at night, like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So we could spend all day on Sunday, and then they could drive me to Minot because it's like 2 hours from the house. And then just drop me, because these people don't drive at night, ever. So they would just we'd go early, they'd drop me off at the mall. I have some cousins who live in Minot or whatever, like Joyce and them. So sometimes they would come and get me, and then I would just hang out with them until we'd go to dinner or something, until it was time to go to the train station, then they could drop me off, and then I would ride the train back, sleep, because I'd work Monday morning, and then it gets into town Monday morning at 5:36, so I could still make it to work and still get all the time. You know what I mean? So that's why I used to do that. Then I just got used to it, and I was just like, meh, this is way easier. Multitasking, exactly. There are Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and a few stores if you'd like gambling. Harrah's Cherokee Casino is near there. And quilting shops. I wonder if Jefferson's trick of using the vacuum hose with the dryer sheets over to pick them up. Oh, yeah. He does that. If you drop a bunch of beads, Jeff always like puts a dryer sheet over the hose, like rubber bands it with the vacuum, and then just sucks them up, and then they go onto there. Coffee is required. Bunsen, get down off of the hair. No. No, no, sir. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna lay down. Okay, you just lay down then. Don't push any buttons. He's laying right next to the keyboard. Sometimes when he gets mad, he just starts pushing buttons, and it changes the screens and everything, because hotkeys, Jeff made hotkeys. Mm-hmm. You're so silly, Mr. Bunsen. He's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Oh, I don't know if I told you guys. I don't know if I told you guys, but my high school friend, Cindy, she lives in Texas. She lives in Houston. Actually, her and Melissa both live in Houston. That's interesting. Anyway, she's already on her way. She called me a couple days ago. I think she left on the 13th. And she was going to drive, so she's driving home so that she can be there when I'm there, so she can come to my grandma's house. She spent a lot of time there when we were kids. So, I think she left on the 13th, and she's going to stay with her cousin and then continue the rest of the way from Texas. And I was like, you should have called Mom and just rode with her. Should have called my mom. She's just over there in Arizona. I'm sure she would have swung over and picked you up. Or she could have flew from Houston to Phoenix and then rode with my mom. These people, they gotta communicate. Anyways, I told my grandma that Cindy was coming from Texas to visit with us, and she was just like, I mean, that's not the only reason she's going. Her mom lives there, and you know, so should we just take our vacations at the same time or whatever, so we can at least hang out. And so she's gonna go see her mom and do all her things, whatever she's doing, you know. And that's why she was saying, oh geez, we're popular, my grandma. I was like, yeah, we're gonna be popular, how about it? She's like, whatever, I'm just worried about watering my garden. Oh, hey, let me ask you guys a question. This is a medical question. So, I want to get my grandma a little portable, like, oxygen tank with, like, the little cannula. Do I have to, in order to get oxygen, do you have to have, like, can you just do that? Could you just, like, go to, like, somewhere and do that? Or do you have to, like, do you, like, have to see the doctor? Because my grandma is scared to death of the doctor, and she won't go. But I want her to have a little portable oxygen thing. Not like the big one, but just like a little one. Like my grandpa had, when he did his chemo thing, he had like a little purse he wore with the chemo thing in it. And I think like maybe she needs that, so she can like still go down to the garden and like not have to worry about like, is it humid outside and all that. Beads don't x-ray well. What? Sure, they thought it was something dangerous, and then they were ticked off and took revenge when they found only beads. Oh. See a doctor for the flow rate. I'm like your grandma, I'm scared of the doctor. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think she'll go. I literally don't think she'll go. Like, So, my grandma had, so this was, I don't know, how old's my dad? Okay, so I'm 37. This is going to require math. Am I 37? Yeah, I'm 37. My dad had me when he was 21, so that makes him 58. So 58 years ago, I guess. Is he going to be 59 this year? He must be going to be 59. He has to be 59 by now. 58. Anyways, 58, 59 years ago, right? Just about 60 years ago. My grandma had my dad, and when she had my dad, she had a really bad experience, and she almost died. So ever since then, she won't go to the doctor. Not unless she absolutely has to. She's like almost dead, even over stupid things. So she had a traumatic experience, and that was that. She don't go to the doctor now. So I don't know, but I wanted her to get like a little portable oxygen tank, and I thought maybe I could just get one at like, like the hospital drug place, the drugstore, the like, I don't know where else to go for that. But I assume at this day and age, you would probably have to have like a prescription or something, or see a doctor. And I don't think she's going to do that. And we've been telling her this, for years and years, and of course she doesn't listen. So she's just like, no, I'll just go with my fan and stay in the house. Just like, Grandma. Look on Google. Yeah, I'll have to look on Google. But, because, years ago, when I was in high school, I used to be like a home health aide. And when I lived in Denver, I was like a home health aide. And there was a lot of people who had them, but I assume that, they had seen somebody to do that. Indiana requires an MD order. Certainly understand. Hard to get over that. Yeah, well, I don't know exactly what happened, but it was not good, I guess. Even my grandpa said it wasn't good. So I was like her first baby. So this is when she went into labor with my dad. And, that was a long time ago. And she had to have a C-section. And back then, C-sections were pretty invasive. And it was in this little teeny tiny town in North Dakota. So I assume maybe it was, things maybe were not very good, I don't know. But I do know that my dad's name is not even the name that he's supposed to be. My dad's name is James J. That's my dad's name. His name was supposed to be Jesse James, but my grandma was out like in a coma for like a week and a half after she had him. I don't know if it was like medically induced or what, but anyways, they asked my grandpa, because I remember she told me this. So they asked my grandpa, oh, what do you want to name the baby? And he was like, she said something about James. So he just named him James. So I don't know. There are medical equipment places. See, that's what I was thinking, Martha. That's what I was thinking. But I think because you can't, I don't think you can just have oxygen. Number one, because it explodes. So that tells me somebody's got to be involved, right? And isn't there a thing, if you have too much oxygen, you can, get high or whatever? I don't know. I'm thinking the drug enforcement people are in charge of that somewhere, so you probably got to go to the doctor. Good morning. Makes sense to me. Yeah, so anyway. So does camping gas. Well, that's true. You can buy that in Walmart. Good point, Annalise. Yeah, home health brings it based on the doctor order. Yeah. So, anywho, I don't know. we'll see what all we got going on. It's going to be busy is the moral of this story. It's going to be busy, but I'm excited. I didn't get to go home. Well, I did go home for my grandpa's funeral, but prior to that, we usually go home for 2 weeks at Christmas time, and I didn't get to go last year because all the animals had ringworm, and we had ringworm, so we could not go. And so, I don't know. Guess we're just going to do it now. Anyhow, that's all I really got going on. I don't know. I'm excited about the show. I brought for rocks. I brought some different rocks this time. I brought well, not different per se, but like a bunch of different kinds of rocks because I brought all the like easily recognizable rocks, because a lot of times at the shows I get people who, they like crystals and they like rocks, but they're not really familiar, so they know like the really easily identifiable ones like amethyst, rose quartz, those are usually the two that people recognize first. Or if maybe they have a favorite, like black tourmaline or something, like they might know that one. But for the most part, so I brought those, and I brought a bunch of jewelry that has those involved with them. And then, but I also brought a bunch of different stuff this year. I always bring rocks to the show in Annetta, and we sell a lot of rocks there. I think last year me and Jeff both had to stay in the booth because it was just constant like people checking out. And I only check out on my phone with my Square, and I only have one. Although, I was going to bring the other phone, the back phone, but Shannon said she wanted to keep the back phone so she could keep up on your guys' orders. So Shannon is going to be here shipping. The website's still open. Everything's blah, blah, blah. I'm just not going to be doing, YouTube. So Shannon's still going to be here shipping and doing all that stuff and, whatever. But since we don't have a sale, we assumed it would probably be, not a lot of shipping. So she's going to take care of the plants and maybe come like every other day instead of like every day to work. So I was like, yeah, you can keep the back phone because then you can check the, the work email. Because every time an order comes in, I get an email saying, you got an order on the back phone. So we know. Because it's not like Etsy or anything where it has like a cha-chinger or like it doesn't like notify you like when you get an order. It just sends an email to your email. I have to go pay bills. I would rather stay. Same. Yeah, I gotta look and see. I think I got everything. Oh, I couldn't get change yesterday, so this is what I did, you guys. It was this little kid at Walmart was losing his mind. So our bank is in St. Croix. That's where we originally got our bank account. We moved to Minnesota. So I didn't go to St. Croix this week or whatever, and I gotta get change for the change box, right? So I was like, well, sometimes the lady down here, we don't have an account down here, but sometimes she'll just give me change. Well, she didn't do that this time. She was like, no. I was like, okay. So then I went to Wells Fargo, and they were like, you don't have an account, so you can't have any change. And I was like, okay. So I went to Walmart. Now our Walmart does not have like a money center. So I took out some cash, and then I just bought all of my items on the checkout, the do-it-yourself checkout, one item at a time. With my $20 bills or whatever I was doing, and I got all the change. It took a long time. This little kid was standing there. He was like probably in high school. He's like high school kid. And he's just staring at me, and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I need change, and nobody will give me change. And he's like, okay. I don't think he like really realized what I was talking about. And I was like, he's like, well, are you putting, so then he got concerned. Are you putting your receipt in every bag? And I was like, yep, you can check them if you want to. And he's like, no, I believe you. And then to top it all off, I forgot to get antifreeze and popsicles, which is quite the combination to forget. And I was like, hey, can you watch this stuff? I have to run and get popsicles and antifreeze. And he's like, sure. That's great. Probably thought I was nuts. I have done that. Yeah, because, like, where are you supposed to go? There's, like, no, if the bank won't give you the money, like, there's no, like, see, back in the day, like, the Walmarts used to have the money center. I don't know if other, like, maybe only super Walmarts have them. This one doesn't have it, where they would, like, you could put money on your preloaded card, and you could get a money order, you could Western Union money, you guys know what I'm talking about? So they don't have that here, and so you used to be able to go there and get change, like for your bank, like, 25 ones or whatever, but no, they don't do that anymore, where I am. You are something else, Randee. I know. It's fine. I'm just like, hey, I got stuff to do. I ain't got time for this. Cannot be just sitting here with no change. So then I called Jeff, and this is my question. I called Jeff, and I was like, hey, I forgot to get change. And he's like, well, I got this stuff that I got for disc golf. And I was like, well, where did you get your change? Because he had a change bank for disc golf, because he used to run the league here. And they have to pay, and sometimes they bring, like, larger bills. So he had a change bank. So I asked him where he got his, and he said, I got it at Wells Fargo. And I was like, in town? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, they wouldn't give me any. And he's like, that's because you're not special. It's like, oh, okay. Sarah, yeah, he probably did think that. He was like, this lady's buying things one at a time. She's collecting all this cash. Now she needs antifreeze and popsicles. What is going on? The change is getting harder and harder to get. Banks have gotten very strict. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta. They never said there was a limitation on how many transactions you could do at the self-checkout. Not bothering anybody anyway. Maybe he has a secret account. I don't think so. I went in there one time, and they did give me the Wells Fargo people did, because I had went to that. Well, they're like right across the street from each other, and I had went to that one, and I was like, hey, can I have some change? And they were like, no, maybe try Wells Fargo. So I went over there, and then I was like, hey, so I used the ATM there. I don't know if that is part of it. I was like, hey, I just used your ATM, and it gave me these large bills, but I need change. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she started doing it, and then she was like, do you have an account with us? And I was like, And she was like, yes. And I was like, And she's like, okay. But I think clearly she knew, like, that wasn't true. My show money box is sacred. I only touch it at shows. Getting antifreeze and popsicles definitely sounds like one of those cop shows. Yeah. Well, I was just like, when Jeff brought the van home, the first thing I noticed about the van is air conditioner is not good. So he obviously realized that the air conditioner wasn't good, and I was like, what's going on with this? And he's like, well, it has a warranty on it, so if it goes out, we can take it in. And I was like, that's interesting. Okay. So I was like, well, okay. And then the other day I was driving, and when I pulled up, it just, smelled like antifreeze, like maybe it's low, or maybe it's like getting ready to overheat, and the heat gauge is right in the middle. And I told Jeff, I was like, this heat gauge is high. And he's like, well, it's in the middle. And I was like, yeah, but it shouldn't be in the middle. It should be like 3/4, like, this is getting hot. And he was like, wanted it to be fine. You know how that goes, like the whole like wishful. He's like, it's fine. And I'm like, So the other day, Shannon was here, and I came back from the post office, and I said, hey, Shannon, come out here. And I was like, do you smell that? And she was like, yeah, it smells like burning hoses and antifreeze. And I was like, yeah. So I went and got a hose replacement kit just in case. and I have that. And then I got antifreeze, so I'm gonna check it before I leave and add coolant if it needs it. But I was just like, we shall see. Don't worry, I have AAA. If anything happens to me, they will tow me to wherever I want to go. They're gonna have to tow me and my 4 animals. But why is it hard to get change at the bank? If you don't have an account at the bank, Martha, they won't let you get change there. I don't know why, because that's what they do. That's what they want to do, I guess. They don't have it. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I think cash, cash has kind of been like becoming less and less because they kind of want everybody to be like, clearly, I mean, they're not saying this, but clearly you can see how they want everybody to be like doing online banking, doing digital banking, not having cash. They make it hard to, like, if you do have cash, like, there's more steps. Like, you can, like, some of the gas stations here, you can't have over a $50 bill if you're going to pay with cash. Like, if you're, like, say your total's like $20 and you want to pay with a $100 bill, they won't take it. So a lot of that is like them just being like, oh, we don't like to keep cash around in case we get robbed. And I think other parts of it is like everybody's just trying to go like cashless. But I mean, not to get into it all that much, but I'm just saying, like, they can't track cash. If you think about it, everything you do in digital banking is tracked. So, not only is it like they're tracking that, but they're tracking your purchases, which gives information. So this is an information thing. Information goes to, like, if a bunch of people are purchasing lawnmowers. They know that lawnmowers are really, popular at that time. So they're manufacturing more lawnmowers because people are buying them. They're tracking like all those things. They're tracking where your money is being spent. So just like all the digital stuff, like, it's super funny. Sometimes me and Shannon sit here because Google's always listening, right? Even if it's not on, it's always listening. So we'll be like, oh, I wish I had some pink envelopes. Oh yeah, pink envelopes would be really good. And then Shannon will say, yeah, I wish we had some pink envelopes. And then pretty soon I log into my Facebook and I see a bunch of ads for pink envelopes, right? So it's kind of like that. It's like a marketing money thing, like whatever, but they're tracking all that. They can't track cash. It also makes it harder for taxes, like all that stuff. Like, people are providing receipts, but it's like, did you pay for these receipts with this cash, like from your business? Like, I don't know. They hear everything. Yeah, they do. We had a national alarm test yesterday. What, Annalise, what does that mean? You're in another country, so I have questions. I think that's legit. At the Renaissance Fair last weekend, everyone was paying me with 20s and up. Drove me nuts because all my small bills were disappearing. The guy with the coin toss came around Sunday. Yeah. Jim works at the bank. You wouldn't believe the amount of cash that he handles every day. It'll blow your mind. So there is still cash stuff going on. Oh yeah, I think there is still cash stuff going on. But it's just like, it feels like they're just like, cause like even a check, right? Even a check. I still have checks, but I have checks because, what's his face? Kyle told me to have checks. So, he says it makes it easier for him to do his accounting because they have a check number, la-di-da, whatever. So, okay. So I have checks that I pay the Taylor Skulls Bead Store with, and I pay Shannon. And, so that's fine. But, like, my grandma, she orders books from this place, and she sends them a check, And it's just like they make it really hard to like accept a check. Most of the things online, you know, I just accepted a check the other day because it was from one of my family, like a distant family member. But she was like, I was like, oh, well, I posted your custom order online. And she was like, can I just send you a check? And I was like, that's going to take 10 days. And she's like, yeah, I just don't like to do it online. And in my head, with my little, you know, millennial brain, I'm just like, okay, like, I don't understand that, but okay. So she sent me a check. It took 10 days to get the money. I'm just like, your check could have got lost in the mail, but like, that's the thing too, is like, I don't know, it's weird. In case of Russia, what's going on with Russia? My husband's laughing at me, but every night I take the $1 bills and the change out of my purse and I save for my bank. I always try to pay with cash. They keep track of my spending. All devices was overrun and alarming. So sorry for you having to go through that. Tough to be ready. Yeah. That's very interesting. I have to say, I'm too young to remember that stuff. I don't remember that stuff, so it seems scary. I haven't used checks in years. Yeah, I still use checks, but only to pay people for my business, just because Kyle says that it's easier for him. But yeah, so I don't know, like, it just seems like we're going into a cashless situation. And that's a little scary because there was all those banks that went down. Remember that? There was one recently that the bank went bankrupt, whatever. They got bailed out by the government or something happened. I don't remember. Jeff was talking about it. And he was like, that's scary because if your bank is over extending their whatever money and they don't have the money that you put in there, like what if you just lose all your money? I'm like, yeah, it's scary. So why would you? So that makes me feel like, oh, maybe I don't want to put all my money in the bank. But then I'm like, I don't want to have my money not in the bank because if somebody comes in here and tries to take it. Check producing companies. Not a good future for them. Yeah. I still pay some of my bills with checks. Also, I pay my show booth fees with checks. Yeah, I do that too. Well, I kind of feel like when you pay with a check, it's like you kind of have a note, you know? You pay with the check, but then when it goes through the bank always like makes a photocopy of the check so you can see where the checks went to, you know? Like, and it says like, oh, this was for the table rent and this was for the whatever. And it's like if you pay with cash or you pay with, even if you pay with your card, you just like get this little snippet of like, this was paid to the Taylor's Falls Bead Stores. You kind of gotta like assume what it was for. The money situation is really changing. I don't know if I should say anything. It's scary. The bank in the U.S. are FDIC insured. Most of them. Well, that's the other thing. Let me tell you this. I was listening to this gal. So, like, this is another reason, like, PayPal is not FDIC insured. Like, all these apps that were, like, money apps, not FDIC insured. So, if someone, for some reason you have a $3,000 balance on your PayPal account, if somebody hacked you and took it, I mean, yes, PayPal could probably reimburse you for that, but they don't have to. They're also not insured. Like, what if it was a lot of money? Why would you have a lot of money on there anyway? I mean, some people use it as like an actual bank account. So, like, there could be a lot of money, like thousands of dollars, but they're not insured. So they technically don't have to return your money if, like, it was a lot of money and they were just like, no. I always keep my cash for beads. Good job. They are tapped out. Only 3 banks have failed to a certain amount. Yeah, I don't really know all that much about it, but I do know that it seems like a scary deal. So, I don't know. I was just trying to get my cash. But I am not really that like worried about it. Where are all these birds coming from? Like a whole bunch of them. I'm not really that worried about it for this show because the people in Annetta who come to the show, they usually have cash. They come prepared. They've been to the ATM. They have small bills. they're not messing around with me. They're just like, oh yeah, we got cash. But I also have my card reader too. So if it's like a bigger purchase, because I brought some really cool like labradorites and amethyst, big ones, like kind of like the attention grabber, kind of ones. They're like $100 and something. So I'm like, well, if you want that, I take a card. I have my PayPal account send my money to my bank every night so that doesn't stay there. Yeah, I know some people, not so much PayPal, but like Venmo people, like people on Venmo, they'll keep like thousands of dollars in there. I was like, why would you do that? Why? Why are you doing that? Will you video your van? Oh, how I got it packed up? Sure. I got to get my laptop in there, and I got to get my animals in there. I got to check the antifreeze. There was something else I was supposed to do. I got to get Jakey's blanket out of the dryer. This is our lady. She's late this morning. She's got a late start today. There she goes. Lily's doing pretty good. She's not barking too much. Lily is barking. I know. She didn't stop though. She just kept walking by. It looks like she's got her kids with her. They must be doing something. Anyways, yeah. I gotta get some more stuff in my van, and then I'm gonna finish editing these 2 videos. So the video thing, what I did, I thought I would have, more time. I didn't. So the first recorded video is gonna come out tomorrow for the bundle. This is the first one. So that's gonna be during the morning coffee time at 9, same as always. So tomorrow there will be a pre-recorded video of me making project 1 for the bundle, and then Saturday and Sunday no video, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, there will be pre-recorded. I don't think I have anything for Friday, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Till it's not anymore, then it's something completely different, and we'll be fine. Ice pop mold. If I got the antifreeze in the popsicle mold, do you think that would have been bad? I need to go. Safe travels. Okay, bye Donna. I need to go too. It's 10 o'clock. Hope everyone else has a great week. Yeah. So like I said, these are all going to be bundle videos that are coming out starting tomorrow. They're all going to be from Thunder Horse Senate Bundle. And they're about an hour each one. There's a couple that are shorter, but like the first 2 are like an hour long, which is about the amount of time of morning coffee. And then they'll be coming out until Thursday. And then Friday, I don't think I will have anything. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no video. But they're set up as premieres, so you guys can still chat in the chat during the video while the video is playing. So there's that. And then I'll be back on the 26th for morning coffee. Well, actually, we'll have a bead sale that day. We'll be back for the bead sale. And then the day after that is the ticket drawings. The ticket drawings start. So, but yeah, I'll be posting on Facebook. If you want to see what's going on with me during this whole goings-on, you're going to want to go to the Facebook group, and I'll be posting things there. And I'll be like, this is me doing this. This is me over here. This is me doing that. I hope you have a safe and profitable trip. Me too. Enjoy your family and the show. Say hi to Jeff. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I will say hi to my grandma. Safe travels. Yes, I will tell him. I will tell him you all the Thunder Horses say hi. Be like, all the descendants said hello. Hope your job is going well. Yeah. Oh, if I have not safe travels, you will know about it because I'll be on the Facebook one. My little AAA card. I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright guys, well, I guess I'm not going to see you for a week, but I hope that I will see you on Monday for the Claim It live bead sale. Me and Shannon did do the SKU list for that already, so it's ready because we're planners over here. And yeah, so I'll see you on the 26th. I hope you all have a lovely week and that you share in the group. Hashtag what's on my mat if you're making stuff. Don't forget about your FOC projects, although I will not be able to get them on the list until later when I get back. But don't forget about your FOC projects, and I'll see you when I get back. Have a wonderful beadie week. Bye!